It's so tough to pick. You got Khabib, who you would think is going to go implement his game plan and take down McGregor, and just like Mendez was taking down McGregor, and he's a 45 version. So, you would think that Khabib is going to go forward and take him down and just put his pressure on him and break him. But, McGregor has shown that he's got that little step off left hand. He's got a strong left hand. He can knock anybody out. So, he lives up for those moments. So, it's tough to bet against him. But, those guys are the JV league. They know it. They're at the little boys weight class. So, when they're ready to come fight in a real man's weight class like 170, they need to come holler at me. They can come try and make history.
It's been a while since McGregor's been out there and has done some MMA. I think his last fight was against Mayweather, which is boxing. But the guy's a true martial artist. He's always training. If he puts that left hand on you, man, you're going to go to sleep. But the thing is, Khabib, really, his chin really hasn't been tested. I think he's been rocked maybe one time his last million, So, but he's been very consistent with the way he's been doing things, taking the guys down, grounding them out, pounding them out. And he's got this way of always just getting in and taking these guys down, even with, them having some excellent takedown defense. So my needle's kind of leaning towards Khabib a little bit. But, like I said, if McGregor, which he always does, he finds some way to put that left hand on you and knock dudes out. But it does take me back to the Chad Mendez fight, when Chad Mendez went out there and just he was crushing him. He got tired. Of course, it was a 2 weeks notice for him, and he ended up getting knocked out. Khabib always comes in shape. Always. So I don't ever see this guy getting tired.
Oh, that was the biggest fight ever, man. The biggest fight ever. Oh my God, there's so much plays into it. So much. There's so many variables. And like, Khabib is probably like my favorite fighter right now. Like, he's an animal, man. He's an animal. But dude, I don't even want to say it, because like, if Khabib's gonna be like, I used to like Diego, but then he think Conor gonna win. Not Diego friend no more. But now that his English is good, he won't be with that accent. So he's got his English pretty good, but he'll be like, nah, I don't like Diego no more. He said Conor's gonna win. I think Conor's gonna sleep him. I think his feet. I honestly, I'll be honest with you, man. I think Khabib got slow feet, and I think he's a linear fighter. He comes forward and back, mostly just forward. He doesn't really go back. He mostly just comes. That's very predictable. He doesn't have very much lateral movement, and I've been watching some of his videos, the way he moves his feet, because I've been thinking about this fight. I know his wrestling's great. And but I think that it's not a wrestling match, and that cage is huge. It's a 50-foot octagon. There's a lot of space for Conor to move. He knows how to, and Conor's got excellent footwork. He's one of the lightest on his feet, and so I see Conor apart, man. I think he's gonna land the KO shot. It's gonna be devastating, and it's gonna be Conor's gonna be on top of the world. Like he already is. I think he's gonna sleep him. That's my honest opinion. I thought about it. So much plays into it, man. So much plays into it.
Well, before the Al Kenyatta fight, I would have said Khabib, but seeing how well he's so afraid of getting touched in the face, I think Conor might actually do it. If this fight stays standing, Khabib is in for a long, painful night of getting his face just battered. But if some chance that Khabib can take Conor down, get close enough to actually just secure that takedown, his ground and pound is going to be efficient enough to go ahead and destroy him. So it's going to be that grappler versus striker type of fight.
A lot of people think, a lot of people think that Conor's going to get killed that fight. I think he has a good chance. I do think he has a good chance. He's a southpaw. He's rangy. He has a good reach for his height. He's slick, good defense, and one-hit knockout power. But that being said, the odds, the way they are, and they're only going to get closer by the time the fight happens. Conor's going to be the favorite, I guarantee you. I'm going to pull the trigger on Khabib. I think that he's going to win. I think that if he gets Conor down, that that Conor's either not going to get up or he's just going to get worn out so bad that the next round he's going to get taken out even easier, until he does get finished on the ground. I just don't think there's anything he has for Khabib on the ground if he doesn't land that clean shot.
I guess it's that or whoever can apply their game plan. There was a couple times like Khabib, he fought a couple guys and stand up looked pretty sloppy, and you can't pull that against Conor at all. He's accurate. He's got snap at some point. Khabib, on the other hand, that's a tough fight to go up against. But I do know that it will be an early night if Khabib is sloppy.
I want Conor to win by knockout, KO. But I think he can do it. I think he can do it, and it'd be cool to see it done. But like I said, you never know. It could go either way. He could just be on top of him the whole time for all 5 rounds. But I think he can do it.
If Khabib would come train with us, he would destroy McGregor. My dad actually rolled. He actually rolled with Khabib at PFL. He rolled with Khabib at PFL, and he said they were going at it a little bit jiu-jitsu. I'm gonna have to go with Conor though. He's a stand-up guy. If Khabib gets him to the ground, which I think he's gonna have a problem because Conor hasn't taken any time off. He's not the time to just enjoy time off. He's still grinding even though he's not working. He's got a good work ethic. So it's gonna be a fun fight. I'm gonna have to go with Conor though. As much as I want to be the one to whoop his ass, I still gotta go with Conor just because of his striking, and I don't think Khabib has that wrestling or striking to get him to the ground or close that distance.
Man, that's a shoulder shrugger. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Khabib though. I'm right with Khabib. I think he's gonna be able to get his hands on him.
I think smart money's probably on Conor just because he knows how to stop a shot and he's got power in the left hand, and it's kind of hard to bet against him. He's a great fighter, but it's one of those fights where you wouldn't be surprised if Khabib starts getting a hold of him and that's the end of the fight. That's one of those fights where it could go either way. I feel that way about most fights when you get 2 high level guys in there. It's like fighting's so unpredictable that whatever happens, it's like you watch a fight and one guy will do something, you go, oh yeah, of course that happened. But if the other thing were to happen, you'd be like, oh yeah, of course like of course if Conor lands a left, everyone will go, oh, of course Conor landed a left. But if Khabib gets a hold of him and mauls him, everyone's gonna go, oh, of course he did that. It's like it's just 2 high level guys. I don't know. I think that going into that fight, Conor will do a favor. But
Yeah, Khabib champ, man. I think Khabib's gonna dominate, man. Just feeling Khabib, I think he's gonna go in there and if he gets his hands on McGregor, it's not gonna be a fun night.
Honestly, I think Conor's gonna win. Just after the performance that Khabib had against Iaquinta, I didn't think he was that impressive. His striking is obviously, pretty far behind a guy like Conor. And Conor's grappling defense is great. He's a hard guy to take down. The only time I really ever seen him get taken down was by Chad Mendes, and I know that he was hurt in that training camp, so I can relate to not being able to get those live rounds and not being able to mimic that in training camp. So in my eyes, I think Conor wins this fight. The only way Khabib wins is if he can, kind of pull a Nate Diaz and survive, for 3 rounds and then, take Conor's gas tank. But I would bet Conor winning this fight.
I got Conor. He might get taken down once, maybe twice, but he stuffs enough and does enough damage to make Khabib maybe hesitant on a shot and then finishes him.
I knew you were going to ask that. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Inside of 3 minutes, Conor. Outside, Khabib. I think Conor has to finish him in the first round to win.
I got Khabib. Please, Khabib, do it. Get it done for us, because if Conor beats Khabib, his head is gonna swell so large. I really, really, really hope that Khabib can do it. That being said, McGregor does have a good opportunity to win as well. We've seen that Khabib can be hit, and if McGregor hits him, it's not a good time. right? Like McGregor has a laser beam left hand, and if he hits you with that, you'll probably fall asleep. But if Khabib gets a hold of him, it's going to be like, it was so bad. It's going to be a bloodbath. So I've got Khabib. I think that he'll be able to bypass that left hand, get under it, get to his legs, come up to the body if he has to, dump him on his head, and then just hold him on the mat and pummel him for as long as it takes to get him to tap out or get a TKO.
Nah, Conor knocks out Khabib with an uppercut, left hand uppercut. That same punch that he caught Floyd with, if he catches Khabib with that same uppercut, that's lights out for Khabib. And Khabib's slow, you know. It's like a punching bag. He's a punching bag that shoots for takedowns. He can't handle McGregor.
And I think that obviously if Khabib decides, listen, I'm not going to play around with striking at all, he wins the fight. But if he thinks he's going to come out and try to prove a point with any point of trying to strike with Conor can catch him. Conor can catch anyone. And Khabib, you watch him against Michael Johnson, another southpaw striker. Michael Johnson cracked him in the beginning. And until he's finally like, listen, let's not even think about striking. Let's grapple, which his corner was telling him right away. Let's just grapple this guy. It's an easy fight if you just grapple. So I think if he comes, I think he's going to come out. He said in a few interviews, Conor's got to stop 100 takedowns. So I think he's going to grapple, and I think that he wears him down and just beats on him. And I think he gets a finish. I think if he grapples, he could break Conor easy. But Conor always hit him with that left. You know, he's really sharp.
I think Khabib has the tools to win. I just don't know if he has the patience to win that one. You know, I mean, the thing that people always mess up when they fight Conor is, number one, they don't throw their phone in the trash. You know, like that's what you should do. The second you fight Conor, you no longer have to sell the fight. He sold it for you. So I mean, you should just go into hiding, because that's the main part that's the worst about fighting him, is the constant media pressure, the constant dealing with all of his fans and stuff. I mean, if I bought Conor McGregor, I would just cancel my internet and go into training, and then I would go in there fresh and nothing would be bothering me. And that's why he lost to Nate Diaz the first time, because he didn't have a chance to like play with his mind. So Khabib runs forward so much, and Conor can knock anybody out. So if he hits him, he'll knock him out. So if he stays on the outside and then shoots low singles and stuff and high crotches and gets him down and just isn't too impatient, you know, Chan Mendez would have beat him if he was in better shape. You know, like there's ways to beat Conor McGregor. The way not to beat him is to try to trade hands with him. And Khabib has walked forward because he has a good chin and thought he could walk through punches. And you can't walk through Conor McGregor's punches. There's no way. He'll knock you out. So I really think Conor's going to take it. But, you know, I don't know for sure. I wouldn't bet money on it.